Hi guys, today we're going to talk a bit about the 1-4-5 major minor keys. I'll show you some of the chords I use and how to work chords out, derivation of chords and maybe a couple of chord substitutes. That tune I played there was the first part of Body and Soul, and I played it in D flat, which normally would sound horrifying playing in D flat, 5 flats. But after you get used to the patterns, and a lot of this is patterns, and understanding the 1-4-5, it becomes a lot simpler to transpose keys and play in different keys, use different scales and so forth. But let's go back to chords and this 1-4-5. Why you need to know the 1-4-5, say you had to learn a tune, you didn't have the music, you were just listening to it. The basic chords that are used in near enough all tunes, but not every tune, is the 1-4-5. It's the first, the fourth and the fifth degree of the scale. We'll talk about that in a wee minute. And once you know the 1-4-5, you get a basic idea of what other chords that are quite often used, like the minor second, the major and minor sixth, the diminished chords will be used in that key. They become second nature. Same like the basic scales that they might use to improvise over it. I told you I'm not a jazz guitarist, I'm a guy that's played guitars for years. So again, I use the knowledge that I have to try and help me with these things. But let's come back to the 1-4-5 again. As you know, in the scale there are 8 notes, that's all you have to remember. We'll take the scale of C because there are no sharps or flats. So the scale of C, it's just C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and back to C again, okay? So if I say the 1-4-5 in the key of C, it's just count to 4. C, D, E, F, and then the fifth is G. It's usually a dominant seventh. So if I'm in the key of C, it's always to C, F, G of G7, back to C. It's as simple as that. So, and you learn to think quite quickly. But if you don't, always just teach pupils to use their left hand. Say for example, key of D, first one's D, E, F, G, fourth G, and the fifth A. So in the dominant seventh, so D, G. Same works for minor keys. Say we're in the key of D minor. D minor, 1. The fourth one, D, E, F, G, G minor. But the fifth one, usually always a dominant seventh, but can sometimes be something different. And back to the D minor. So if you were sitting with a bunch of guys and they'll say for example that they're going to be playing in D minor, you think, okay, right, okay, I know the 3 main chords that are going to be used are going to be the first, D minor, the fourth, G minor, and the fifth, A, and back to the D minor. Right, okay, we'll come back to C. Again, no sharps or flats, and we'll go to its relative minor, which is always up a 6, so it's A minor. So 1-4-5 in A minor, A, B, C, D, A minor, D minor, E, which is usually straight E or a dominant seventh. Now that's what I want to talk about a wee bit just now, the names of chords. Sometimes people will hit you with really fancy names of chords and you've got to look up books to find out how to play the chord, but the answer usually is in the name of the chord itself. Say for example, let's start with C. C major 7th, right? Now a major 7th chords is the name of the chord, the tonic note, which just means the name of the chord, C, down a semitone. Right, so I went from C to B. Imagine we're in D. So there's the note D. Down a semitone, C sharp or D flat. Imagine we're in A. There's a tonic note A. Down a semitone, A flat or G sharp. Imagine you were in G. So there's the G. Well, imagine you didn't know how to play G major 7th. Alright. So you know you go from the tonic note, you just go down a semitone, G flat or F sharp. So I like to double up that F sharp here. And that's basically how you get a major seventh. It's the same with major sixes and major ninths. So again, go back to C. So what's the sixth note in the scale of C? C, D, E, F, G, A. So we need a C with an A in it. There's the A there. And it's basically just like an A minor chord. There's the A. Simple as that. There's the A, sixth note. Say it was a major ninth. So the ninth note of the scale is D. There's a D there. So it's a C chord. I'll play actually a major six along with the ninth. Sounds cooler. So that's a B. And there's the D that you play the ninth. And the reason I'm showing you these patterns is they move. You just use the same pattern and move it. So say for example, let's go back to the C major six. So if somebody said to me, I need you to play a D flat major six. So instead of looking for all the books, you just go up one. Pinky's on a D flat, see? Or if I had to play a D flat major ninth, same pattern we use in the C, only up a tone. Then back to the major ninth. And that's where a lot of these come. Now, the ninth note or the sixth note, they can be played an octave up. You know, instead of playing that A, you can be played that A. So you can get a major ninth, a major six like that. But usually it's played down here. Again, it's whatever suits. And it really gives you an idea where all the chords come from and how to get on them in a hurry when people talk about ninths, 11s and so forth. Because the other one I want to talk about is a ninth to a flat ninth. Now I'm going to change the key. I'm going to go to the key of A, which is 3 sharp, but you don't need to worry about that just now. So there's A. Let's play A major seventh because it's a more cool sound. Remember how we took the note down a semitone? Okay. And then we went to the minor second, A, B, which is B minor. And then back to the E. So that pattern is a 1. Minor second to the 5th. So it's 1, 2, 5, or 1 minor 2, 5. But what I like to do is instead of just playing an E, I'll play an E ninth and then maybe an E flat ninth, maybe a flat 11th, and I'll show you how I do that. So back to the A major 7th, B minor 7th. Now I'm going to play an E ninth. Well, the ninth note of the scale of E is F sharp, so I need to add this on. So all I do is cool, and then come back like that. I like playing it here. Say there's an E 7th chord. I actually made them 7th ninths. So there's an E 7th chord, just like your blues chord, but add the 9th. I'll play it back up here so you can see what I'm doing. A major 7th, B minor 7th, E 7th 9th, and back to the A. That E 7th 9th, it's just there's a basic E 7th chord, playing the G sharp and the D, which is the 7th, add the F sharp. That's all I'm doing there. Now what's really cool, and it sort of prolongs the introduction of something you're working on, is to go from the 9th to the flat 9th. So that's just that F sharp to an F natural and back to the... So you're still playing the 1, 2, 5 pattern, but you're making the 5th last longer, adding a wee bit more colour to like this. Again, sometimes I play it down here, an F sharp, F natural. Sometimes I'll just play this shape and back to the A. Played an A major 9th with added B. And it's just the point I'm trying to make here, guys, is when you hear the names of these chords, don't run a mile, work them out yourself. 7th, 9th, flat 9th, and back to the A major 7th. Another one you can sometimes use is a flat 11th. So the 11th note of the scale is G sharp. You're going to flatten it. So there's the E. I'll just play the trebles in an E chord. So all I'm playing is a note in E string, holding the G sharp down. That's it. I'll play the 7th note, which is a D. So there's an E 7th, but you can see my pinky's on that G. So well, it's actually, so that's the E 7th flat 11th. Okay? And then you can maybe drop that straight away to the flat 9th. Doesn't work in every song, but it works in a lot of tunes. But I really like going from the 9th to the flat 9th. Another cool chord progression is to add the diminished. And the diminished that usually works in these patterns is just a semitone up from the tonic key. So it sounds a lot, it's nothing. A. Bring the first finger over to a B flat and you have a diminished chord there already. Right, then the minor second. Then the 9th, flat 9th, back to the A major 7th, and give it a wee sort of shuffle. So you can actually build up in patterns. One last more thing about the dominant 7th chord. I showed you a wee bit of this last time, but I'll show you again. Say for example, just 1, 4, 5 and C, okay? C, F, G. Now most of the time, but not always, the 5th is a dominant 7th, right? But you can add things to it. If you remember the last time I showed you the sharp 5, which is just the 5th degree of the scale, which is D. So you play D sharp. It's really good for starting a tune. So that's another one you can add to your arm, the sharp 5. 13 flat 9th. It's a wee bit more extreme. But these are all sorts of things you can add to it. You can go from a 13th to a sharp 5, then on to the chord again, 13th, just wee things you can add on to the dominant chord. Now just one last wee thing I'd like to add to this. Remember I told you shouldn't let keys bother you. So we know this pattern, we're playing it in A, we're adding diminished, semitone up, minor second, and then we're playing the 5th bit of a 9th, flat 9th. All you do when you move these things up is, this is how it's really cool to learn, at least, even if you just work in the E string and the A string, just learn the names of the notes. A, B flat or A sharp, B, C, C sharp or D flat, D, okay? So if that's A major 7th, say it was playing in B flat, which is a really common key with these standards, all you do is you move it up one. Your first finger's a capo. Exact same chord shapes, but your first finger's a capo. So that pattern is now add the diminished, the F, I played a 13th there. So when I was playing in D flat, same thing, I just moved the whole thing, A major 7th chord, up to 4th position. This is just like a capo. D flat, 1, 4, 5 D flat, let's just do that. D flat, G flat, A flat 7th, and back to the D flat. And that's all you're doing. So, and if you're in a really common key like E flat, you go, E flat, just in your 1, 4, 5, E flat, A flat, D flat. So you're just going here, E flat, A flat, B flat, back to the E flat. So just get used to using these chords, and a good idea, as I say, is if you play quite a simple tune in C, try playing it in C sharp or D flat. If you play it in G, play it in A flat, and just get used to these chords. I mean, you know the chord shapes, I'm sure that we basically use that for a major. The basic sort of A minor shape, I'm playing a C minor here. You know, we move that all the way right up, where the first finger is the name of the chords. C minor, C sharp minor, D minor, E flat, E minor. Then the other shape you use, I'm using a G minor, but you know that shape, G minor, A flat minor, B flat, B, C. Just get used to doing these. Always think of the 1, 4, 5. If somebody mentions a key to you, think what the 1, 4, 5 in that key is. And then the other basic standard is always be able to play at least an ordinary scale in that key. So if we're in D flat, don't have to go really fast, but just be aware of the scale, D flat scale. Simple as that. Modes, don't go nuts in the modes just now. The one that's always a good standby for me, there are no rules, so don't think I'm making a rule here, but just for me, if say for example I'm in a key of D flat, right? 1, 4, 5 in D flat, my fifth is A flat. An A flat mixolydian is always a good starting point for me. I know it's going to work. I don't play the whole scale. As I get towards the end of the scale, I'll add something else in, but it will fit in. Say for example, there's a D flat chord, A flat mixolydian. See how I slightly changed it there at the end there? So I know the 5th degree of the scale is A flat, so that's my 5th chord, my dominant 7th. So I would just play against the D major chord, D flat major 7th chord, an A flat mixolydian. Not exactly like that, and obviously would play it in rhythm, but I know that's going to be safe. So that's one of the things that I'd practice, guys. So every key you're in, if it's an A, play an A major scale. Go to the 5th degree of that scale. If A it's E, then play E mixolydian slowly. And then as you got up to higher reaches of the scales, bring that into the melody. One last wee dodge before we finish. If we're in A minor, say we're in a minor key, say we're in A minor, right? And again, you could do just a short couple of bars, you didn't know what to do. Same thing, another dodge is to convert it to its relative major key. We're in A minor, 1, 4, 5 in A minor, D minor, E, back to the A minor, okay? Go up a third, A, B, C. Memorise the 1, 4, 5 in C, which is C, F and G, and use that to play your mixolydian. So all you're doing is converting it to its relative major key, and the 5th degree of that scale, play a mixolydian. Sounds convoluted, it's not. Let me show you slowly what I mean. We're in A minor. Okay, I'm thinking here, okay, its relative major's up a third, so that's C. My 1, 4, 5 in C, C, F and G. G's the 5th, so I'll play G mixolydian against an A minor chord. You see what I mean? When you get to the top end of the scale, it's easy in C because it's tones. Bring yourself back into the key. It's not a dodge, it's just a thing to be able to do. Just start with your basic. Try and leave the pentatonic to you. Thought of everything else, especially in the ballads that the B play. Try these things first. Anyhow, that's me ended, guy. Quite a lot in there. I'll maybe come back to it later on. But I really hope that helps you when you're playing the guitar, trying to work something out. Maybe even composing a tune or playing with other people. So I hope to see you again. So bye for now.